It makes him get a runny nose, a cold sometimes, a temperature, or like the runs.
Am I teething? I feel like those are all the symptoms I currently have. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Weird.
Hey guys, welcome to the official YouTube page for Calm Down with Erin and Charissa. This is where you can watch all of our ridiculous conversations and fun interviews.
We have full shows. We've got pre-games, anything and everything that you guys could want. But first, you're going to have to subscribe. Just hit subscribe right there and you're good to go.
And now you can calm down with us.
Yep. Can you tell that we're reading this off a script? We hope so. All right. We need to calm down and wrap this bad boy up. Press subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. No, I was just looking. I'm like obsessed. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the big show. We have so much to discuss. What I was just looking off to the side on, I swear it wasn't my television. It's my laptop. And I get to be in the same city as Charissa this weekend. And so I'm very excited. But it's also going to be chilly. So I keep looking at the weather because I know she's not to tell her what's going on.
Welcome everybody to the Calm Down podcast. We are so excited, obviously, because we get to be in the same city, which in this particular case will be in Philadelphia. And do you know the last time we were in Philadelphia together for an NFC championship game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad for me.
It was. We went to yoga.
Was so amazing. I was going through something really terrible and Fox was so incredible and they flew me to Philly just so I could be with you because they knew that would make me happy and I would be comforted by just being with you. We went to a yoga class. I wasn't doing anything on TV. I just was with you and it did. It made me feel so much better and I love Fox for that. But yeah, this is 10 years later, whatever it is.
Cool down. On hot yoga, we went to a hot sculpt, and we did a cool down, and it was an acoustic version of Dancing in the Dark. And I remember Chris and I looking at each other and we're like,
I'm bawling.
What the fuck is happening? It was all the fucking feels. I downloaded it after that.
Oh my God. So we are going back to Philly because it is the Commanders and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. It is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills in the AFC game. That will be over on CBS. You were in Detroit for the divisional round. Lions, Commanders, go. All things Jayden Daniels, game, atmosphere, all of it.
Girl, I had not met him, and I'm so. Have you met him?
I have. No, I've met him. Yeah, because we did a Thursday night game.
Yeah,
but I don't know him. I have never done a sit down with him.
But I feel like you know him from Wit and like hearing everything Andrew Whitworth has said about him and like the LSU ties.
Yeah, LSU.
I go and do a sit down with him on Thursday. Hadn't been to the Commanders facility in years. I think the last time I did a sit down there was with Kirk Cousins. Wow, times have changed. Charissa, I called Jarrett after that interview and I said, I would like Mack to be just like Jayden Daniels.
No.
He is so calm, cool.
Sweet.
This is a rookie. He doesn't need to know who I am. Comes over, gives me a giant hug and was like, finally we get you guys. I've been asking when we were going to get the crew. And it's like, you stop it. Sits down, gorgeous smile, listens, is so humble. All the shit I'm saying right now is what everybody's been saying all week. Doesn't get rattled. Just a good, I want to say good boy because I'm 100 years old. Loves his parents, loves his coaches, is walking, little things like this, walking out of the facility of the Commander's facility, which is now his. He is the face. He will be the face for the next 20 years, God willing. And holding his Gatorades, holding his stuff, walking out with his little beanie on. Okay, good to meet you again. See you on Saturday. Like,
stop as he's walking out to his car.
Can't take it. Can't take it.
Really sweet.
Everything everybody said and more. Waited for him after Rinaldi's interview because I just wanted to give him a hug. Sat there and listened and said, thank you again for this sit down. Okay, see you next week. Like, just no.
And isn't that, we talk a lot on here, and rightfully so, because it's our profession, about this is much more than a job, right? For us. And like we like watching those games, like I didn't want the Rams to lose and I didn't want the Lions to lose. Like I didn't want anyone to lose. I didn't want Lamar to lose. Like
Mark Andrews hurts my heart because I love him so much.
When
I don't
saw
want
Lamar
Josh to lose. I know.
come up and give Josh a hug, and he just has, speaking of smile, like, I don't know. I just don't want any of these people to lose. I understand it's part of the game. We get it. But when you meet guys like Jayden or have those relationships, or, you know, even if it's a new relationship, you're just like, you root for the individual, sometimes even more than the team. And so when the team loses, you're like, fuck. But that's good to hear. I'm so happy. What an amazing thing for that fan base too. We talked about it, where it's like, you know, growing up in Seattle, we had never got to root for the Seahawks. They were not good. And so when they're good, and they brings the whole town together. And so Commanders fans have waited a long time. And I know Lions fans, you're so close, but same thing with the Bills fans. Like, you imagine 4 straight Super Bowls, like losing that. Like, these are some fan bases that I'm so glad that there's some parity in the league where it is. I get it. The Chiefs are there, but hey, that's also fun.
Yeah.
That's also fun.
It's cool.
It's cool to see something like that, because very few times in your lifetime do you get to watch Dynasty. So yeah, it's going to be great. So Philadelphia, it's going to be cold, to Erin's previous point. She'll watch the weather report. I won't pay attention, but have you thought about, because now your outfits are like a real thing, like whether it's cold or whether you're indoors, like what are we thinking? Can we give a preview?
We got it right over here.
Oh, you
we
already
tried it on. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a backup in case we end up going like snow globe, which
was fun.
Charissa, can you? Yeah, you already got to live through that. I didn't get to do that yet. Like, it's all about me, of course. Forget, you know, Saquon. Forget Jayden. It's about me. That looks so fucking insane yesterday. I would die for a snow game.
When was your last snow game? I mean, you've had a lot of them.
Well, no. I just had one where it was like October and it started snowing at Lambeau, but I've never had like
no way.
Never.
You have never worked a snow game?
I've got 2 snowsuits this year and I can't get a snow game.
Oh my God. Why did I think? I was like, for sure, you've of all the Green Bay trips you've had, you've never? You've had a flurry, but not a full-on
I've had
field
a flurry
situation? Oh my God.
I've had a flurry.
Well, man, for you, I hope that's the case.
I got to tell you, leaving Detroit on Sunday morning, well, it was like a 6:30 pickup. Like, we all just were watching the Dan Campbell presser, and he said it perfectly with, you know, my God, love him and that team so much. These guys put their heart and soul into it, including the coaches, you know, and they're not going to be the same. Ben Johnson. Is it official? Is he gone?
Yep.
And Aaron Glenn, I hope he gets a job. And it just, oh man, it was really. And I remember leaving the stadium and there were just fans crying. And I was just like, holy
I was just going to
shit.
ask you, okay, so when you see it start to turn right after halftime, and it's like, what was going on in the stadium? And like, what were you like
Suck the energy right out. Like right before the game, you know, we had pre-taped the interview and Kevin and TB were coming on and TB was just so pumped and he's like, this is awesome. This is so cool. Yeah. And it's cool to hear him get like that, but it really was. It was one of those that I was taking video because I was like, this is insane. Yeah. It sucked the energy right out. It's like a vacuum. It was crazy.
It's the NFL. Doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed with that, you know, home field advantage. It's like on any given Sunday, as the expression goes. But so here we are. So as if you guys don't know, we are lucky enough Fox has the Super Bowl this year. So we are excited about that. That comes with all sorts of things. So we get to be together at the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl in New Orleans, all sorts of fun stuff planned there. But before that, what else do we have going on? You've been all over the place. I've been all over the place. Of course, you guys know all the devastation that's happened in Los Angeles with the fires. Yeah. We appreciate you guys reaching out. We've kind of both been doing different things. I would love for you to expand upon what you and Kevin Burkhardt are doing with the Red Cross.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, of course, you're so devastated and heartbroken. The Monday before the fires, we did a podcast with Dean Blandino, which was so great, had such a great time. And I've had a couple of people say like, hey, just to give me a laugh, I listened to that. So if you have time and you want to go back and listen to it, it was great. It was good for guys and girls and just to give you a laugh and forget about what's going on in your life if you need a break. So Kevin and I, much like yourself, were just like, Jesus, what can we do? What can we get together? And we decided that we wanted to pair with the Red Cross. We'll provide the link on the Instagram on Calm Down. And we are basically, it's a raffle. So you can donate $5, 5 cents. You can donate $100. It doesn't matter. And then it's also kind of like if you donate a couple of times, you have better chances, like a lottery.
Okay, good. Yeah. Get on in there.
choose someone, and that someone is going to get next year a game of their choice, 2 tickets, a behind the scenes experience, dinner with us the night before, which is a real time.
That is a time for anyone that has, well, a lot of people haven't had that opportunity, but yeah, I would say this is a really once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. Pregame, behind the scenes look and all that. So we're excited about that. I think we have like 8 days left for this.
Okay. And how can you do it to give people
We'll provide the link.
Okay,
and then
perfect.
you, like I said, you don't have to, you can donate whatever you choose to donate. But the more times you donate, your chances are better of kind of being, it's like, think of the NBA and all the chips and like going to get the first round picks or the number 1 pick. So anywho, there's that. And we've already reached $100,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Erin, that's amazing.
And all proceeds obviously goes to the Red Cross. Maybe I should say that as well. Yeah. So we're super pumped about that.
Oh, you guys should be very proud of your every little bit helps. I had the great privilege of going with Global Empowerment Mission and Be Strong. Bethany Frankel is doing incredible things. She is, guys, we know she is wild and quirky and all these other things that she does. And she does these like fun reviews of different products. She's just, if you don't know her, she's from the Real Housewives, but she's done so much more outside of that show. But she pairs with Global Empowerment Mission, and it's basically into any area that has just experienced devastation. So they're in North Carolina, they were in Florida for the hurricanes. I mean, they've been in the Ukraine. It's really incredible to see how quickly they move in times of devastation. And so my parents are in town, they're visiting. And the first week, I was traveling. I wasn't here when all the fires were happening, and I felt so terrible because my parents had come to visit. And then I was like, there's a lot going on. You guys stay inside. You might have to evacuate. There was just kind of a lot of moving parts. We were very, very lucky, as you were, that we didn't have to evacuate and our houses are intact. I just, having a close friend who is going through this, I can't even begin to imagine what everyone's going through. But if you can help in any way, so my parents were like, let's do something. I said, I have a couple opportunities. They went out with me, and it was really nice to just, I know sometimes like helping is like, you're like, oh, it's only a little bit, just anything you can do to help, whether it's donate or whether it's time. We went out to the Pasadena area and we put together these care packages. And then from the facility, this Global Empowerment Mission, and Be Strong, you're at a big warehouse, you put together all of these packages, and then you go out and you distribute them. And seeing these families pull up in their cars, some of them are living in their cars. There was like even these like little, I like started crying. There was a little boy who was asking for, sweats or undergarments and stuff because he didn't have anything. And then you ask the size. It's just, anyways, the stories are endless. And that's the devastating part, is that also too with this group, they were like, sometimes, these relief missions, like you can get in and it gets cleaned up pretty quickly. This is going to be a long time. Yeah. So if you guys can make sure that you, Global Empowerment Mission, I will also include the details. If you're in the Los Angeles area and you want to donate, this is going to be going on for the next 3 months, and you can go and volunteer your time there. Also, animals, you guys know, are near and dear to both Erin and I's heart. So all proceeds that are all merchandise that you guys buy from the Ruby Ranch website will go directly to the Pasadena Humane Society and then also to the Equestrian Center. So we're distributing evenly there. So we'll include all that information, but just, when it hits so close to home, you realize that no one is exempt from something terrible like this, and anything you can do to help. And I might even be adopting a few goats. I'm going over to the Humane Society this week. And I know, I said to Tony, sweet Tony, who watches the ranch, I said, what animals can we take? She said, any and all, but it just depends on how many we can get in a trailer. So I got to go figure out what I can do to help in that regard. But anyways.
Oh my God.
Thinking of all of you guys that were affected, and we'll just continue to help and support it any way that we can. So part of this podcast.
Reading on the ticker, this team has donated this. The NFL has donated this. Fox has donated this. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you guys. $100,000. That is very, very cool. So, also trying to find some levity amidst hard times is what podcasts and things like what we're doing right now are for. So, Ryan, our wonderful producer, and Kurt, we got a couple of headlines. Do you want to jump into this?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. lady, 5-year-old daughter next to me on the plane who offered to hold my screaming baby instead of judging me. She looked at me as I struggled and said, honey, I have 5 babies. Do you want me to hold her? It took her 5 minutes to calm Lila down, and the next hour played with her 5-year-old daughter, laughing and having fun. If she ever sees this, thank you. If you're seeing this, be like her, please. Steve always gets mad at me, but whenever I see a baby, whether it's on a plane or in a restaurant that's crying, I think that I am Mrs. Doubtfire or Mary
Mrs.
Poppins.
Rachel. Yeah.
And I'm just going to go right up. Exactly. Mrs. Rachel, you really are a mother. You are a mother. You know what? There's a few times where I say, my gal's a mom. That's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Rachel.
Miss Rachel just signed a Netflix deal. Go, girl.
Miss Rachel
As
is rich.
you should.
Good for you, Miss Rachel. Mrs. Rachel. Snap. So, this actually happened to me at Christmas. We're in Chicago for our Thursday night game that we have, the 26th. Christmas Day, we're at the Tavern. Anyone that knows Chicago, you know that little Gibson's Triangle. It used to be the old Sutton Place Thompson Hotel. Anyways, we're in there. And there's a mom and a dad. And the mom, I could tell she wants to drink that martini. But the martini's sitting on the table and she's holding the baby. And I go, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Steve. And he goes, God, don't do it. Don't do it. I go, I'm doing it. I walked right up to her and I go, can I hold your baby? She goes, oh my God, would you please? Yeah. Turned out for the next 2.5 hours, tables pushed together. Mom and dad drank, had a good time. I watched the baby. Baby fell asleep in my arms. The table across the way from us kept looking over at me, judging McJudgersons. And I looked at the mom and I was like, this table's judging me. She goes, who cares? And I'm like, I'm not going to steal the baby. This is her baby. She's fine with it. I had the best time. I get my fix, eat that baby right back. And yeah, it's my thing. So if you are with children on a plane, I will gladly take them off your hands and babysit, or in a restaurant. So go for it. Wouldn't you no, you wouldn't want somebody to grab Mack.
Yeah, all the time.
You would? You would not be okay with a stranger grabbing him in a restaurant.
It just depends. Mackie Babes is doing a funny thing. I felt like I was gone forever last week. I was gone probably for like 5 days. Looking at him, and when I was saying goodnight to him, because we finally got to put him to bed last night, and he was looking at me like this. And I felt like we were doing a stare off, and I just started cracking up, and he's like,
oh, he goes back to serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Really funny. Yeah.
Oh,
and
cute.
he just started having bad breath, which is really interesting. Yeah. Because he's getting the molars. And then so there's a lot of saliva and like the blood and all that. And like this morning I went in to go say good morning. And here I am, like I'm a goddamn dragon. Like it's
stop it.
Like, and I'm judging my baby for his breath. And he was just like, and I was like, whoa. Okay.
It's like when the dog has bad breath and you're like, we need to brush that bad boy. Mm-hmm. Imagine how painful getting your teeth is. Like, think about when you have a toothache, like of any sort, you're like, ugh. Imagine like molars coming through.
It makes them get a runny nose, a cold sometimes, a temperature, or like the runs.
Am I teething? I feel like those are all the symptoms I currently have. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Weird. Yeah, but I can only imagine
Jennifer
how painful
Aniston.
that is.
Oh, yeah. But I guess they don't remember it. So that's good. Jennifer Aniston is loving her body at 55. We got to love our bodies. It's the best. It's doing the best it can. It's been with us since the day we started. So we can't be too hard on it. Can I read? She said on Allure. I agree. Aww. I'm hard on mine, but who isn't? But she's right. And I appreciate someone like her saying that.
I think I've had a love-hate, really. Here's a New York Post headline. I've had self-diagnosed eating disorders my whole life. I mean, let's be honest. I've gotten too skinny. I've gotten too fat. And so I think ultimately it's like wherever you feel the most comfortable, like whatever, and obviously within, within range. But I have people say to me all the time, like, oh, but you're too skinny. It's like, no, because I was just too I was thick for a while, and I liked that. I was in that phase, but now I like being skinnier, and I don't have as much muscle because I also don't work out as much as I used to. Like I used to work out every single day, and I was fanatical about it. So I'm at a comfortable place with like my body now, but everyone's gonna judge. This is what I go back to. Here's a word of caution, everybody out there, and I know that like Taylor Swift has said it, and Lady Gaga said it. Like you don't get to comment on other people's bodies. Like, it's their journey. Now, obviously, there's healthy, there's unhealthy, there's various different things. I mean, God, when I was drinking too much, I was bloated and I was fat. Like, there's just a million different reasons why somebody fertility, like, who knows? They're depressed, they're anxious, they can't eat. Like, who knows what someone's going through? If you're a friend, you can obviously talk to them about it if you're concerned. But like, the judgment of women's bodies is going to go on forever. We get it. That's just like the society we live in. But it sucks sometimes because it's like, if you ever just ask the person like, oh, are you happy? And they're like, yeah. Like, okay, well then leave it alone. Everyone just thinks they get an opinion on everything. So I respect that for her. Can you imagine being in headlines her whole life, like on every Us Weekly, on everything you do? I wonder how many covers Jennifer Aniston has been on. Not willingly, like not like chosen Vogue or Allure or whatever, but like tabloid headlines. I mean, this has been going on for 30 years for this girl. Imagine going to the grocery store. Actually, you've probably had this. You've been on Us Weekly. Have you ever went to the grocery store and seen yourself on a magazine?
I don't even know where. Do they still have magazines out?
Sure do. You have to have gone. No, because if I were you and I knew I was on like a fitness magazine, I would grab the stack of magazines and I'd move them right to the front so everyone could see them.
I'm not making the cover. That's the thing. I mean,
you 100% have been on the cover of a magazine.
Not really. Maybe a little
not
square.
Really. Okay.
Maybe a little square.
Picture.
Like, is that her? Oh, she looks great. This is also a woman that had her husband openly cheat on her on set. You know what I mean?
Hello.
And she's Rachel Green.
Hello.
God, she's great.
God, her wedding was
great.
that wedding picture of her and Brad Pitt, and her hair was so long, and that veil, and then her smile. He looks great. Let's talk about someone that looks great. He's looking good.
She looks better.
Daughter.
She won.
Sent text. Yeah, she did win. But, just in people celebrating people's bodies and looks at an older age. Daughter sent text to parents living 600 miles away. She wasn't prepared for their response. Brianna Lambert, a student at Kansas State University during finals week, posted this on her TikTok, a message to her from her mom. Can you call me when you are free, please? Mom's response, yes, everything okay. We will show this so it makes it easier. They go back and forth. Yes, I'm feeling anxious and wanted to chat. Her mom ended up never making that call. Her mom and dad were headed to the university to see her. So in summary, this sweet girl just needed her mom and dad, and they obviously got that from the message, and they showed up and they surprised her, and she was at a gym on a treadmill running, and she turned around. And I will say this, as my parents are in my backyard currently. Sometimes you just need your parents. And my parents come down and visit me, usually around this time of the year in January, because it's dark and gloomy in Seattle and they want to spend time with me. And I didn't, I left home when I was 18, much like you did. And so it's like my brother and sister get my parents all the time, like every family function, every birthday, every whatever. So it's really nice to have them here. And I never take for granted that my parents are people that not only are my parents and I love them as parents, but I like them as people. Like Steve said to me today, he goes, are you going to miss your parents and they leave tomorrow? I was like, yeah, I'm going to miss my parents. I'm going to tell you why. Because I came home and my mom did my laundry and I don't have to empty the dishwasher and food is made. And it's like, sometimes it's nice to just feel like a kid again. Like I was kind of like not feeling great last night on the couch. And my mom's like, can I make you any soup or anything? And I was like, oh, that's so nice. So
my dad is the best dishwasher stacker. He can stack and pack a dishwasher like it's an art. Also a trunk too. Like he's really good. Even Jarrett, who's, meticulous and kind of OCD about cleanliness, was like, wow, Clark can really do a dishwasher. I'm like, really figure it out. It's like a goddamn jigsaw puzzle over there.
I gotta be honest, that's one of my weakest things. I just throw it in. I don't comply with like the plate area. No. And then sometimes I'm like, who designed this? No. Compliance issues. I'm excited.
I'm gonna check the weather one more time. Hold on.
Oh, there she is. Well, I need to get on.
I just feel like a front is coming through.
No, not the front. All right. So you already have your outfit. I won't have my outfit until I show up in Philadelphia and figure out what you didn't wear.
That's not
what
true.
I will be wearing.
That's not true.
And it'll
Who's
be
coming?
a reunion.
Jules is coming.
Julian Edelman, Charles Woodson, Gronk, The gang. Oh my God, this is
Lord.
going to be it. So here's a little backstory, you guys. We don't ever all get to be together unless
They
it's a
don't
Super
let us
Bowl
be
year.
together.
But in this particular case, we, I'm going to miss Shregs. I wish Shregs was coming and Mike Vick, they're not coming. But we are excited that some of the pregame is going to be with Erin on the road. So yay.
It'll be a good time.
All right. That's all I got. Thank you guys.
I don't have much either.
No, we got a lot coming up. We got a lot to be thankful for. Again, you guys donate where you can. And thank you for having some concern about us. And in addition to all of that, remember as you go to bed at night, say how grateful you are for the things you have, because in an instant it can be gone and it's just devastating what's happening in this community. But that's when you actually, I got to say, this place has really showed up. It's really cool to see how people like all come together. And sometimes there's a lot of dissension in the world, but in times of crisis, you see how that there's a lot of good people out there. So
yeah, I'm also interested, like once our season kind of actually just to get this week over with, because I'm available next week, I'd like to get out there and help out. And somebody was saying, there's always a huge amount of support in the beginning, but it's always after. So I gotta figure out who I'm aligning myself with after to kind of just get out there and help people.
I heard Kevin say that on the broadcast, and it's such a good point. It's like there's always that influx right at the beginning. But yeah, we'll do it together and we'll continue to help everyone that needs it. Or we'll do the best we can. Remember, Red Cross information.
Yep.
We'll get that up and everything else that you guys can do to help. All right. I love you. Thank you for being
Bye.
a
Love
distraction.
you guys.
Love you. Bye, guys.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.